everybody, welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our weekly roundup, where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I've used over the past week and I rank them from least liked to most liked. Now this week I have 5 slots. I've included some singles and I have 1 slot where I use a combination of palettes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. At number 5, I actually have the palette or the quad I made with some singles. Now this shade here is Pretties for Your Face Lovelies. This shade is Cleona Pink Sugar. This shade is Sydney Grace Lolly, and this shade is Sydney Grace Sweet Tooth. So this was a really pretty, like, little eyeshadow thing I did here. I really like how the colors went together. They are just super pretty colors. These two here, I feel like most of my singles that are mattes are Sydney Grace. They just have great matte singles. I actually haven't bought any in quite a while just because I feel like I have all the shades that I need, but I do know that they'll like discontinue some shades, so I don't even know if these still exist. But basically they're kind of like just pink with different undertones and different depth. So this was a really cute look and I really enjoyed it. At number 4, I think it was sort of a similar look, and I achieved that with the Beauty Bay Rich palette. So this is one, let me actually show you these two together, right? These could fit in here with this. Look at that. So yeah, very similar color story, just more expansive. This was one that I really enjoyed. I have been liking my Beauty Bay palettes. Now this one, I feel like you can see it here. I do have a lot of the colors in other places in my little collection here, but I like have this one and I think 2 other Beauty Bay palettes. I was like trying to figure out how I feel about their formula and I really like it. I know a few of you gave me some suggestions of other Beauty Bay palettes I can get, but right now I don't need anything, but I can see myself definitely purchasing more from Beauty Bay in the future. Now at number 3, that is where I have the combination. So I use the Natasha Denona Biba palette. Now I have some shades taken out of here for a dupe palette that I am creating, so you'll see some empty spots, okay? But this is one of my favorite neutral palettes, and I paired it with Danessa making a comeback. This is the Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette. It's always in here, always in the roundup. This was a really simple neutral look. I like to throw in a very like 2-shade kind of brownish neutrally look throughout the week just for work. Well, all of my looks are pretty much for work. So I really liked this one and I liked pairing the 2 neutral palettes together. So that was number 3. At number 2, I have the Mad Witch Cosmetics Chance palette. So this is their first palette thus far. This is the brand that Not Your Basic Steph here on YouTube created or started, and this is her first palette and she sent it to me, which I really appreciate. So yeah, I really liked this look that I did. I used this shade here, which is called The Time Is Now. I love that shade. It is so, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. It might be my favorite in the palette. Yeah, I think it is my favorite. So I really liked this look and I believe I wore like a dark lip with it for work, and yeah, it was cute. And my last one, number 1, I took it back to Charlotte Tilbury and I used her Fire Rose palette. Now, I I love Charlotte quads. They're not worth the price, I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I just always, every time I use a Charlotte Tilbury palette, I just feel like I look pretty. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's something. She does something right, okay? But I really enjoyed this look this week. I was at work. I felt like I looked bright and like this. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And that is number one, y'all. This is super short. No like extravagant looks this week. But I'll try to throw some in there for you for next week. Let me know what you used over this past week. Any new palettes, any new singles, FYI, the Cosmic Beauty, I think it's Cool Trolls and Nude Trolls. I don't know, some kind of name. That's coming out this week. I will be purchasing because I just love their palettes and their color stories, and I'm really curious to see how a neutral palette from them will look. A lot, if not all, of their colors show up well on me, even though I have a deeper skin tone. So I'm really curious to see how that is going to look. And maybe it'll become my new favorite neutral palette. Anyways, that's it. Don't forget to tell me what you used this past week and what you're going to use next week. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.